Everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. And we had one day off, so we jumping back into it. Let's get ready to get started. Let's bring in my man Maurice Smith, comedian up in Boston. Mo, what's cracking, man? How you doing, sir?
What's going on, baby? What's going on, man? How you doing, Frank?
I'm all right. As we
How
wait.
much Brown and Army fatigue shit do you own?
A lot. I have a lot. But let's not talk about my clothing line right now. That's another conversation for another show. Let me bring in my man Jason Hayes. Jay, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, fellas. What's going on?
What's going on?
My man Mo wants to talk about my wardrobe like this is a fashion show or something. I don't understand. I don't get it. Anyway, let's bring in my man, another comedian who just jumped in the building. Dave, the business bully. Dave, how you doing, sir? How's everything?
Frank, if I had your hands, I'd cut mine off.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. If Dave don't get it started right, it ain't a right day. You know what I mean? It just ain't right if he don't get it started. All right,
so know where your hands have been, Frank. That's all.
I walked into that one.
Hands first.
There you go. I walked into the cover, but let's get ready to get the show started. Before we jump into it, I want to see if you guys have a couple of words that you want to say. And Mo, you can go first on Diana Taurasi because she officially retired from WNBA from the Phoenix Mercury, all-time leading scorer and MVP. She started 22 years old, first overall pick out of UConn, went to play the WNBA for 20 seasons, helped lead the franchise to championships in 2007, 2009, 2014, finals MVP honors in 2009, 2014, made the Olympics. Now, I would say, Mo, I'm gonna start with you. I would say if she was a man, she would probably go down as probably the best in the game. And this is the reason why I'm gonna say this, because of what she did in college, the Olympics, and the WNBA. Now, you could dispute it if you want. Mo, I'm gonna have you go first. We can talk about this and everything else, but I think literally that could be something you could talk about. That if she was a man, even though she doesn't have as many championships as like Jordan or Kobe, I think she got she got 3, but literally because of her whole career, her whole professional career. Even though Jordan did get an Olympics and he did, I don't know, you still think she'd go down as one of the best. Maybe it depends on how you look at it, because Mo, didn't she win back to back a couple of times in UConn? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think all 3 of them were in a row. I think maybe her last year they lost.
Yeah.
I think it was like that was the big upset. I don't know if it was UCLA or Notre Dame. I can't remember exactly who it was. I think her last year. Listen.
I'm gonna have my man Kev in the background check it out. Kev, check out, see how many she won and for UConn. But I'm only because what she did in college, then she went to the Olympics, then she did it in the pros. I think you could say that she has one of the best. I don't know. I'm sorry.
She got 3 college championships, 3 WNBA championships, 6 Olympic gold medals. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's going down first round Hall of Famer off the rip. There would be no Caitlin Clark. There would be no Reese. There would be none of these. There would be no Juju without Taurasi. You know what I'm saying? Like, she came in and she did it the way that she wanted to do it, her way. You know what I'm saying? She balled out, and that's it. It's nothing else you can say. I mean, she said it for herself, man. She left it all on the court.
Right. She definitely did. Dave, what's your take on Diana Taurasi? I only compared it to a man only because I want people to see the impact that she had in the league. You know what I mean? Go ahead. What's your take?
I hate to be the wet blanket that corrects good Mo, especially after he, has had a phenomenal recovery from his stage 3 cervical cancer. But I want to make sure that we don't shortchange this woman's accomplishment. She is a 9-time gold medalist. 9, because you forget Spain, Turkey, and Czech Republic. Right. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like world championships go, right? So when you look at her impact, you can't take it away. And not to mention, I mean, this is a person who was nicknamed the White Mamba because her game was so much like Kobe, if Kobe was a very unattractive white woman. The other part of that is when you look at the fact that she is not only a credit to her race, a credit to her gender, but also credit to her species, because she is the hybrid child of Bluto and Alice the Goon. And I think it's extremely important that we recognize that, because she was strong to the finish and there was no spinach found on any drug test that she had. Phenomenal 20-year career. The problem is 95% of the American population has never seen this woman play.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. Filmmaker in the building. Jason, talk to me, man. Tell me what your thoughts on her, man.
Yeah, I mean, she's no worse than what, top 10, all time. I mean, like doing it, she did it in college, she did it in the pros, and to kind of piggyback, what Bully said, it's unfortunate that like so much of her career had to be played off in someplace else that nobody could even see what she was doing, to fully appreciate what she was doing. It's almost like Warren Moon playing in the CFL. She got a bunch of stats that don't even really matter in the grand scheme of things when we're looking at it. But hey, man, one of the best ever do it. I mean, to play for 20 years, that's tough, man. I mean, especially for women. They like so many have knee injuries and they just lose interest because of the money. So it kind of shows, that she just loved playing because the money wasn't there like that.
Yeah. She's going to the NBA Hall of Fame. No matter how you look at it, she's going to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Frank,
I think
I'm so sorry, but like when we talk about knee injuries, this is what I'm talking about. We got to stop making excuses for the WNBA. You don't hear other professional athletes complain about their knee injuries like this. Like you never hear any of the cast of any basketball wild seasons complain about their knee injuries.
Yeah, that's very true. 100%. Thank you for that correction, Dave. I'm sorry. I'm gonna fix that. Where am I at? Okay. he threw me for that one. I'm sorry, guy. He threw me for that. Mo, let's just bring it back up to Mo. We got to talk about the Lakers last night, because the Lakers ended up doing something that was phenomenal last night. They had Luka obviously come into the thing. Luka did his thing. What Luka did was kind of surprising to a lot of people. Were you impressed with the Lakers win over the Dallas Mavericks last night, or what was your takeaway from that?
It was a good game. I'll say that much. It was a good game, but it could have went any other way. We could be sitting here talking about the Dallas Mavericks upset Luka and LeBron in LA. It was a good game. It was a tight game. I'm saying, but Luka looked real good. He did that. He had some good passes, some good quarterback passes down the court to LeBron, and LeBron looked good too, coming off the screen, finishing all plays, putting back rebounds. I'm saying you got a 40-year-old guy and a young kid. You got the old face and the new face. Hey, man, listen, can't go wrong right now. They good for the regular season, but it ain't gonna make no difference when the playoffs come. Don't get hyped up. Don't get hyped up.
I'm not. Dave. Oh, Dave's not even.
I'm not.
Dave.
Just cut me off.
I'm sorry, Dave. I didn't mean to do that. Let me
right.
get back to where I was at. Dave, let me ask you. The Lakers are 15-19 in their last games, 19 games. Let's see. They have number one defense in the league the last 5 weeks. Luka ended up putting a triple-double last night on him. He basically did it. Now, what was your takeaway when you saw the game or saw the highlights of the game? Because they looked incredible last night. They definitely looked incredible.
People act as if energy doesn't matter, Frank. And it absolutely does. We all black here. We've all gone to somebody's house who just got his ass chewed by his wife, and you could cut the tension with a knife. But you know what else? There's a breath of fresh air. And I think Doncic last night, I mean, you're talking, what was it? 19 points, 15 rebounds, 12 assists. He put on a clinic, and everybody was like, oh, we're going to step this thing up. I actually saw LeBron James for the first time in like a year and a half. Like, I know there was somebody on the court. Maybe it was his life model decoy, but I saw LeBron James show up for the first time in a long time. I was excited to watch Lakers. And God, I'm so glad Uncle Rodney's not here, because we never hear the end of it, because he would act like the parade is tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But I think they found a missing element, and a lot of that has to do not only with the old lion, young lion dichotomy, but also just the breath of fresh air, somebody bringing in some energy who now has something to prove, and did.
Jason, you know what I think happened too? I think they finally figured out how to use Luka. To have Luka be the point, Luka bring up the ball, so they're having LeBron bring up the ball and LeBron control everything else. He looked like he had a lot more gas towards the end of the game. And I think if they figure that dynamic out and they continue to do that, obviously, I think now that I think a lot of people are going to start overlooking the Lakers, and I was one of them. I can't front. I think if they could put it together and get somewhat of a big man, I think they could make some noise in the West when it comes down to the playoffs. Your take on that, Jay?
I mean, they're definitely not a team that anybody wants to play in a series because it's hard to beat that man named LeBron James 4 times. I mean, I don't care who you are. And then, so now he kind of has some help, with Luka. They got some shooters around him, with Connect and the kid out of Oklahoma, I'm forgetting his name right now, the other white guy. But let me say this. Yeah, right, him. But let me say this. Dallas was shorthanded last night. They were down AD and they were down their starting center. And so I didn't watch the game from the start, but when I tuned in, I think Lakers up like 12-13 or something like that. And then I turned and then looked up and the game was tight. So when I started watching, the thing I keep saying about Luka, he's a liability on defense, bro. He cannot guard. And that is how Dallas kept getting back in the game. No matter how the Lakers extended it offensively, Dallas always had a chance because all you got to do is attack Luka on the defensive end, and you always gonna have a puncher's chance against them.
Yeah, but I could counter that. Now, mind you, I'm not a Lakers fan. I could counter that and say now, in the last month since January, the Lakers have had the best defense in the league, and it hasn't gotten worse with the addition of Luka. I could counter that. So, what would you say to that, Jay?
I would say they figured out ingenious ways to hide Luka on the defensive end.
Yeah,
because whenever he had the matchup, he was cheeks.
Objection, Your Honor. I'm going to need him to reword that. I'm going to ask the judge to give him a pause.
And then you know the funniest part was he said it with a straight face and didn't blink.
Right, and didn't blink.
Frank, he was like, he was cheeks.
Cheeks.
And didn't blink. Jay, I know you're not a comic book, bro. Sometimes
that was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. All right, Mo, let me just pause instead of talking about the NBA last night. Let me just pause and just ask you this: if you had to guess right now, who would be the coach of the year? I'm gonna tell you mine first, because everybody's voting for JJ Redick for what he's done with the obviously with the Lakers mid-season for what he's done for the coach of the year. They're going for him. Who would you go for coach of the year? Because my vote would be Ime Udoka for what he did for Houston Rockets. That would be my vote for the coach of the year. Who would yours be?
I mean, Ime Udoka, I would say he would be in the running. But you got to go with the coach for OKC, man.
Okay.
OKC. I'm going with the team that's winning. I'm not picking some. I mean, Ime Udoka has put them boys together. Listen, that's a team you don't want to see in a 7-game playoff either. I'm not saying they will win it, but they will make it real hard for you to go into the next round. You're going in limpid. He got them boys put together. He got them right. And they got Fred VanVleet. I said that was the guy who should have came to Boston. I said that before. They should have got him. He's a good pick. He's a solid pick. But you got Drew Holiday. I'll give you that pass. But no. OKC. I'm sorry I don't know his name. OKC coach.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask Dave. Dave, who is your coach of the year if you had to pick right now? Who would be your coach of the year?
Kenny Atkinson.
For which team?
That's Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like a Cleveland without LeBron that is putting up the numbers that they've been putting up consistently, like you got to give it to him. I mean, let's face it, since Drew Carey lost weight and Steve Harvey got new teeth, no one has really been talking about Cleveland like that. They don't have much to look forward to. Like when you look at the Browns are literally a euphemism for defecation, Frank. How many times have you heard somebody say, hey, this is the only way the Browns are going to get to the Super Bowl? Flush. So when we talk about the Cavaliers, for them to actually be on the winning side of things, I think Atkinson deserves a lot more respect. I mean, he has taken the team, like not since the bad news Bears came out, have people been like, you know what? Cleveland actually has something going on that I care about. This is exciting to me. I think Atkinson is my dark horse in this situation for coach of the year, Frank.
Okay, I think you guys are picking the easy ones because the teams are winning. I mean, but I think the only reason why I'm saying that is because I'm mostly shocked by a team that you didn't see coming out to win. I think a lot of people expected OKC to win because they was winning last year. A lot of people expecting Cleveland being in the mix because they was winning last year. So I think this kind of cheating, you know what I mean? But I don't know. Jason, who's your coach of the year? Because like I said, my coach is Houston. Dave's got Cleveland. Mo got OKC. Who's your coach?
to quote the great Herm Edwards, you play to win the games, right?
Right.
So if you ain't winning, I don't give a damn how much improvement you're doing, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't care. If you won 0 games last year and you won 1 this year, that's improvement. You know what I'm saying? Don't mean you're killing it, right?
That's 100% improvement.
You know what I'm saying? 100% improvement, right? And you still trash juice. You know what I'm saying?
You're still cheeks. You're still cheeks.
You still cheeks. You know what I'm saying?
3 times.
But see, I agree with the OKC coach.
Okay.
And I say that because they have the #1 record in the league, and people can't name but one of their players.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows Shea, but they can't name anybody else on their roster. That's coaching. You know what I'm saying? So if he's taking a bunch of no-name people and making them gel and play as a unit, that is coaching. So you got to go with that guy.
Okay. All right. All right. I like that. I like that pick. I got a couple other news stories I want to talk about, but before I do, I want to stop again because I'm looking at the time and we're talking, the time is moving. I asked you guys off camera to give me your starting 5 on who you would pick of current NBA players. I'm gonna go first. You know why I'm gonna go first? Because I don't want one of y'all to bust my starting 5. I'm gonna be mad if one of y'all have my starting 5. and then that'd be depressing. So Mo, I know you got your starting 5, but
I got mine.
Okay, I'm gonna go first.
Tatum and your other 4.
As long as you know. As long as you go. So let me give you my starting 5. I got Anthony Edwards, I got Ja Morant, I got SGA, Jason Tatum, because my man stole my thunder, and I got the Joker. And I don't think nobody's beating that 5. I just don't see it. But it's things that's why they play the game. That's why they play the game. I got to pull up Daniel Dugar. He sent me his starting 5. But why he sent me that? Oh, he said, here we go. Daniel Dugar, he said SGA, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Joker. He picked a whole older roster, and I don't think that older roster would win. I don't care what nobody says. I don't think, even though they're great players, they've done their thing and they did everything else, I just don't think they would win, because of what they'd be facing nowadays. So, Mo, you up? Who's your starting 5?
Point guard, Jalen Brunson, top 10 in assists right now, averaging 7.4 assists. You got to have somebody to distribute the ball. Plus, I got to pick a dick.
Yeah, I do.
Shooting guard, I'm going with Anthony Edwards. Even though Steph Curry is #1 in the league right now, Anthony Edwards is #2, and he got 4 points. He's averaging 4.1 a game. All right, my small forward, the Domantas Sabonis, top rebounder in the league right now. Yeah. I'm picking him because you got to have somebody to clear the boards. Sabonis is my rebounder. At center, Victor Wembanyama. I need somebody for blocks. And he spreads out the floor. And I'm topping it off at power forward. I'm going with Joker. That's why I'm putting Joker at power forward. When I need a clutch shot, I got either him or Bronson or Anthony Edwards.
My only problem with that thing is you be playing Joker out of position, and I like your 5, but you be playing Joker out of position, which he ain't.
I know that, but I can switch them. I can switch Victor Wembanyama and Joker. So if it don't work out, you don't want to see neither one of them on the wing. Neither one of them.
You know what, Mo? I kind of like your starting 5 too. Actually, it's Dave. His starting 5 is kind of tough.
Yeah.
Tough. Okay. Yeah. What's your starting 5?
Are we also going to say what team we want them on, or just
no? It's your team. Oh, you can. Yes, I'd like if you could say your team, because my team, they would all be Celtics, but that's because
I mean, and in an ideal world, my team would all be Sixers. But the truth of the matter is, I want to spend my time giving love to a team that continuously sucks more. Never mind. But okay. So here's my starting 5. Right. First, Robert Diggs. Right. Gary Grice, Russell Jones, Clifford Smith, and Corey Woods for the New York Knicks. Amazing. Why? What are you laughing about, Frank?
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
New York needs them. See, the thing of it is, when you need somebody to bring the ruckus, when you need somebody to bring the pain, when you need somebody for New York to count on, you call on those men. You want to know why? Because when they're there, right, they sell out the Garden every single time. In case you don't know who I'm talking about, the RZA, the Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, Raekwon the Chef, and the METHOD, man, the Wu-Tang Clan are my starting five for the New York Knicks, Frank. Nobody's beating that lineup. 30 years strong, Wu-Tang forever.
Yeah, and that's why I bust out laughing. I don't think a lot of people picked up that was the Wu-Tang Clan.
You name somebody else, Frank. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to with on or off the court.
Okay, all right, but do you have an NBA starting five? Do you have an NBA, or do I got to come back to you?
You got to come back.
No, he ain't got one.
You got to come back to me on that, Frank. I'll have one in like 3 minutes, though. You know.
All right. Jason, I hope you understood the assignment.
I did.
Dave's assignment was I am going to be able to put together who's going to sell out the Garden. So, and I'm not mad at him because I didn't on in my defense, I didn't say who's going to sell out arenas. I should have said who is going to play on the NBA floor. So, Jason, who is your starting five for the NBA that's a current NBA player right now?
Well, you know, as a former basketball player myself, chemistry is very, very important. Versatility is very, very important. So I did a blending of the old and the new. My point guard, Steph the Chef, he still got enough in the tank, you know, to cause problems. 2, I'm going with the youngin' out of ATL, Anthony Edwards. At the 3, I got to go SGA. He's long. He scores in the mid-range. He can defend.
So you got SGA at 3. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He's long enough for the 3. He's versatile enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put old man Bron at the 4. He's 6'9", 260 plus. He's strong enough to hold that down. And I can't go wrong at the 5 with the Joker. Everybody high IQ, everybody got versatile games, and they're gonna outthink you and out-angle you, and they're gonna chew you up. Beat that 5.
I like that. That's a great 5 too. That's a great 5 too. All right, so out of everybody's 5, since Kevin's in the background, Kevin, DM me right now and tell me whose 5 you think is gonna win. I see, because I don't want to be, I don't want to pick, because obviously I'm the host. I pick me, you know what I mean? And if I had to put it in rankings, I would say I'm 1. I would say Mo's 2 and you're 3, Jay. You know what I mean? I would have to do that only because Mo had the sneaky audacity to put the Joker and Wembyana in this. I didn't even think about Wemby. But then you topped it off too by literally having SGA as the 3, which is really, I kind of like that too. So, Kev, just tell me who you think. Don't make me bring you in, Kev, because I'm seeing you sitting in the back with your thing. Tell me who you think won, Kev. Just type that name in real fast.
But Frank, when you play the game, you gotta understand. As a 4, you gotta be able to move your feet. Joker can't move them feet out there. You know what I'm saying? So listen, he's cheeks out there, man.
But Wembyana doesn't have to move.
He the 5 though.
Wembyana is the top blocker in the league right now.
Don't matter in the mid-range, baby.
Huh?
It don't matter in the mid-range. Up faking.
Oh, I got Sabonis. That's why I got Sabonis in there. The amount of Sabonis.
Hey, Mo, Sabonis is at the 3. The air get real thin out there, man. He got to move his feet. He got to stay in front of them people, man. I don't think he can do it.
But when you got reach like Wembyana, he don't have to move his feet. He just got to move his arms.
All right.
He's got reach. He's got unbelievable. His wingspan is.
He can't guard all 5, Mo. He can't guard all 5 people, baby.
Listen, I still think I'm creating havoc with Sabonis in there banging down. He's gonna bang them. So when you got Sabonis and they got to get past Sabonis, number 1. They got to get past Sabonis. Joker might be a little slow, so I can put him in the center and put Wembyana at the 4. And it don't matter. You're not getting inside that. You're not getting inside. You're gonna have to be a 3-point shooting team to beat me.
They gonna live in the paint.
Dave, you got your starting five? You ready?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm definitely ready. You know, first and foremost, man, we're not even gonna play this game. Coming out, I'm gonna have Luka. I just am. I'm not even playing no game here. Tyrese Halliburton, gotta have Tyrese Halliburton. Giannis the Adonis. Right, this gonna make you real happy. Calm down. Try not to go red and get all geeky and start pinching your nipples. Don't make it weird, Frank. Jason Tatum, and what are y'all? I'm just trying. Now I go and give y'all legitimate picks. I still got more. I got one more because you need a center. But
Yeah,
I give y'all start laughing, and I'm not even like.
No,
see, this is okay. I'm sorry, my center's Joel Embiid with good legs.
okay, Joel Embiid. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
So
all right.
right now, Kev said in the standings right now, Kev rated us as this. He said Mo got the best team, followed by Jason, then me, and then you, Dave. But that was before you made the pick because Dave ended up, for those of you sitting at home, Dave picked the starting five for the WNBA.
The WNBA.
He picked the Wu-Tang Clan. That's why I said WNBA. He picked the Dave
For
picked
the children. For the children.
For the children. Okay. All right. That was a good one. Listen, I can't even doubt that. That was a good one. I got more out of that than I thought I was going to get out of that. Okay, so Mo, let's keep it going. Let me just ask you this. I don't know if you happen to see this. Kevin Durant right now, we've been talking about this for a week. It's official. Phoenix has basically said, without officially 100% stating that, but comments they've made, they're going to trade Kevin Durant this season. I said last week, I said it a couple times, he's going to go to a couple places. I'd like to see him in the Knicks. I'd like to see him in a couple places. But it's coming out now that Kevin Durant will probably land on the Mavericks. Do you like Kevin Durant on the Mavericks right now? Because the Mavericks have a lot to move that they can move with, and Washington has some stuff that they can move with. I just don't see KD trying to go to Washington, even though he's from DC area. I just don't see that. Will you see him forcing?
I said this a few weeks ago. I like Kevin Durant to put himself out there as a hired mercenary. He need to come straight out, look in the camera, and says, "If the price is right, I'll come to your team." Kevin Durant is good anywhere. Dallas, picture Kevin Durant in Dallas right now. Picture Kevin Durant in New York right now. Put Kevin Durant in Philly right now. Put him in OKC. He can go anywhere and be a hired mercenary. He just need to go ahead, get his money, get his stats, get some rings somewhere, and keep it going. Picture Kevin Durant in Cleveland right now. He can go anywhere and they all of a sudden be a contender. He don't need to he just need to go whoever gonna give him the money. Whoever got the bag for. He's a hired mercenary.
Yeah, but it has to make the most sense, right, Dave? It has to make the most sense where he's going to go financially.
Right.
And a couple of places you named, Mo, don't financially make sense because they just don't have it. And a couple of places do. Where you see him going at, Dave?
I'm okay. I'm just gonna say it. At this point, Kevin Durant is just like that guy who what did my man say? You had a spark when you started, but now you're just garbage. It's not that you're not a great player, but how can you gel anywhere if you don't stay anywhere long enough to make something happen? You're just a whore. You're just popping all around the league. Your antics going from team to team to team is overshadowing your ability and your skills. Now, the truth of the matter is we're talking about an MVP. We're talking about a former champion. We're talking about somebody who does make every team he's on better by and large. The only place I see Kevin Durant not working is in a barber's chair, Frank, because he breaks clippers left and right. And I'm not talking LA. Other than that, I think he's good. I mean, like, I think he break the clippers, but aside from that, he's great.
It's only today, y'all. Only today. Jason, where you see him going at? Where you see Kevin Durant going at that makes sense to you?
Dallas makes a lot of sense. I think they probably have the requisite assets, to make Phoenix happy, in exchange for him. Excuse me. And Dallas is definitely trying to win right now. I mean, I don't see them trying to think about, we're trying to get 3 years or 4 years down the road. I think they want to go right now. And having Kyrie, having AD, bringing KD into that mix, I think they all can play together. Dallas makes the most sense.
Yeah, sure it does. Which brings me up to my next point. Mo, is the Dallas Mavericks looking at this trade after the team has, seen how they blend and everything else? if you're the Dallas Mavericks management right now, are you looking at the trade as a success, or are you starting to regret what you did?
Well, I can't. They haven't been able to put a measuring stick on it yet. They don't have what they wanted on the floor. They ain't got Lively, and they ain't got AD on the floor. And, so, and I want to say this: didn't we try this with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant in Brooklyn before?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But the reason why I asked is because you made the trade, right? And then you were hoping that they weren't going to nobody was going to get hurt, and obviously AD gets hurt the first
But
game.
these guys are only a few weeks from coming back, and then they're not. It's not like they got season-ending injuries. They're only a few weeks from coming back. You know what I'm saying? And they still got enough time to get in shape, get ready for the playoff, to see how they gel together. So it's not like these guys ain't coming back. Come on, man. Dallas was in that game. They weren't even supposed to be in the game. The Lakers, that's why I'm not surprised. That's why I'm not all up in awe with the Lakers. Dallas was in that game, and they still got not one but two key factors not playing. Come on, man.
Okay. Dave, was the Dallas trade worth it to the management and worth it to the fans of both the Lakers and the Mavericks? Do you think it's worth it? Was worth it to you?
I think the Lakers benefited more than Dallas did, unless we're talking about, freeing up some money. You know what I'm saying? Because now the attention goes to the Lakers, and for good reason for once. Aside from that, what did Dallas get out of it again?
They got Anthony Davis and two other players and a couple of draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, we'll see. But we saw last night what happened. That's all. That's it, and that's all.
I think that's the reason why the Dallas Mavericks fans are very upset right now. They saw what Luka did and was doing that. So, Jason, let me ask you this. If you're the Dallas Mavericks management and everything else, are you thinking that the trade was still successful? Are you still happy like you were a couple of weeks ago, or are you starting to regret it?
I'm still happy. I'm very happy because Luka was complacent, man. He's walking around 300 pounds, bro. I mean, and you're a point guard. That's unacceptable. He was always hurt. He was always dinged because he was fat. So maybe that light a fire on the Luka, and it can be, beneficial, for Luka now moving forward, letting him know he's not untouchable. But I'm happy with AD. I'm happy with them young guards that I got from the Lakers. I'm happy with the draft picks. So yeah, I mean, I'm still good with it.
Mm-hmm. I figured, yeah. I honestly, I'm still good with it too. I'm looking at it like right now. I think that this trade was pretty successful still, because I don't care what nobody says. When the Dallas Mavericks get healthy, they're gonna be really scary to beat, bro. And I'm really excited to see that. I can't wait to see it. I don't want them to win nothing, but I'm still excited to see how they're gonna do damage in the West.
Right. Yeah.
Mo, Joel Embiid is now getting ready to get in that kicker where he's getting ready to get into that $300 million part of his contract. We said last week. Here's what we were talking about last week. Last week, we were like, blow up the team and get rid of them. The Sixers aren't doing that. Let's be honest. They're not going to blow up the team. They're not going to do that. So if you are the Philadelphia 76ers, how do you repair the team right now? What do you do? Because Joel Embiid is virtually untouchable. How you fix him?
You can't. It's done. You can't fix him. It's dead. With Joel Embiid going into that, who can you bring in? Who can you afford to bring in? And you got Paul George, you know what I'm saying? And you got Paul George and the guard, Tyrese Maxey, who's gonna want. He's gonna be coming up for money too soon too. Well, his contract is gonna be up soon. You can't fix it. It's done. You know what you do? Ride it out, and once again, Philadelphia gets #1 picks. Let's see if they be smart this time, because they haven't been smart in the past.
Right.
Here's a Pelican brief, Mo. Here's a Pelican brief, and this brief is only going to go in front of the judge, in front of you three as a judge. It doesn't mean it's going to be moved into a motion. Here's a Pelican brief. What about the Philadelphia 76ers moving away from Paul George and getting a draft pick and bundle it up together and try to get Kevin Durant? And put Kevin Durant with Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. You like it?
No, because you can't count on Joel Embiid. Mm-hmm. No matter what you do, you cannot depend on Joel Embiid. Mm-hmm. So what you do all that, and now you just got Kevin Durant in another system that ain't gonna work because he don't have the people around him who's supposed to be playing. Thus, what's going on right now in Phoenix? They ain't been. How many games have they played together? Me and you played more basketball games together than the Phoenix, and then the whole team in Phoenix. Come on, man. You can't count on Joel Embiid.
Okay. Let me ask Dave. Dave, here's the situation. We talked about it last week. It's always about money, but what do you do with Joel Embiid right now? Because you're the Philadelphia 76ers and you kind of stuck. You know, that $300 million contract is kicking in. You're kind of stuck.
Yeah. The good news about being a business owner is that you sometimes make investments that don't necessarily pay off the way that you hope that they would, and you're kind of stuck with them. The good news is you can write it off. There's nothing we can do with Joel Embiid unless we find the same doctors that fixed up Steve Austin, and rebuild him. Because at this point, we actually do have the technology. He's taking up so much money, you can't do anything with salary cap. And let's face it, we know that if the team ever got out of the Joel Embiid business, Tyrese Maxey is a bona fide first ballot Hall of Famer because that kid's on fire. He's consistent. He don't really get injured that much. But right now, as a Sixers fan, I can't lie to you and tell you that I'm not frustrated. It is not the first time that I've expressed to you guys how much Joel Embiid pisses me off. But I'm not a fair weather Philly fan. Like I'm with my Sixers no matter what. But we have painted ourselves into a corner that we thought were going to pay off in the long term, and it has not. It really hasn't. And
That's
so we are. Oh God, this is going to pain me to say, Frank. I agree with Mo. We're stuck.
Yeah, I can't fault you what you're saying, Joe. Jason. The situation I have in front of me right now is I'm looking at a piece of paper that says to me right now, Joel Embiid wants to play for the Olympics. And a certain management at the Philadelphia 76ers agreed with that and said, yeah, he could play for the Olympics. I think that person should be fired because Joel Embiid playing in the Olympics is what messed you up for the season. You know what I mean? If you ask me. Because obviously that continuing play instead of having him give time off, and he's injury prone all the time. You know what I mean? He's injury prone. But anyway, I digress. If you're the Philadelphia 76ers, how do you handle it? Do you like my Pelican brief? You trade for Kevin Durant to give you some kind of daylight? What do you do?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is fire the GM because he's the problem. I mean, even if you do packages, I mean, I don't trust him to make the right package, to get the right assets back. So I think it all starts. What's his name? Daryl Moynihan, whatever his name is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, get rid of him. Like Paul George, man. I mean, I don't even understand that contract, to be honest. And Philly fans were upset. I mean, they were excited about Paul George. Come like, dude, this dude hardly ever plays, man. And so another bad contract. So it's great to play. What if we package this person, send them here? But they're not playing well for the Sixers. So what team would trade for a dude that just signed a new contract to come into their organization, and bog down their salary cap, to not produce? So they're stuck, like Mo said.
Yeah, they are kind of stuck. All right, let's get ready to switch gears. Let's jump into the NFL because I want to go through some of these questions. And before I get into the NFL news, Mo, I'm gonna put you up first because Mo, I had the question that it's obviously Matthew Stafford news, T. Higgins news. I'm gonna jump into that in a second, but I want to ask you guys this question too to make it interesting and especially for the viewers out there. Which QB you think is going to have a worse year than last year? Here's the key kicker of that question. Which star QB that you think was doing good last year is going to have a worse season this upcoming year? And I'm going to go first. I'm going with Dallas Cowboys star. What's his name?
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott. I'm going with Dak Prescott. And I know it's an easy one. And I got another one in my back pocket, but I want to see if you guys pick the other one. Dak Prescott's my easy answer. Which QB star is going to have a worse year than Mo? This upcoming season?
I got two guys came to my name. My number one pick, though, is Jaden Daniels. They got a lot of guys that are going to be unrestricted free agents. And I'm not saying he's going to have a bad year because he can't play. Number one, the league is going to catch up to him. Your sophomore year is the hardest, man. They're going to catch up to him. They got to make sure he's going to be surrounded with the right things and with the right line and the right receivers. They got one good receiver there, but I don't see it. The guy threw for 25 TDs, but he did have 9 interceptions too. But number two, though, right now, Joe Burrow. If they don't get it right down there in Cincinnati, he's the one that's going to have the worst season because they got a lot riding on T. Higgins and Chase. They don't know if they're going to bring them all back, man.
Okay, all right. I like your choices. Can't dispute your choices. Let me ask Dave. Dave, the business bully, comedian, extraordinaire, and author of a million books. Dave, who do you think, which star QB is going to have a worse season than they had last year?
Okay, we're doing this. Fine. I think we need to have the conversation. And I don't think this is a Pelican brief because I think everybody knows it at this point, Frank. March 12th is 7 days from my daughter's birthday, right? And it's also the day that Russell Wilson will be a free agent. And it looks like he's going to be signing with New Orleans. And I don't think it's going to work out well for him. I don't. Not since he bought Sierra's catalog is he going to get roasted the way he's going to get roasted by these New Orleans fans if he makes one slip up, one mistake, and we keep acting like this dude did not give us 12 years of phenomenal football, like he is not a phenomenal all-star who can go, who is not very injury prone, who continues to put up numbers and continues to be clowned on and off the field, no matter what he does. I think there's no place for him to go, but even further down. They're not going to stop until they tear this man's self-esteem up.
Okay. I like his choice too. Jason, which QB out there is going to have a worse season than they had last season?
Well, I'm going to say something that's going to throw you a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to say Lamar Jackson, but not for the reasons that you're thinking. It's not because he's going to fall off a cliff. It's because how can you replicate what he did last year? You know, I mean, just on the math, he's not going to be able to have 40 touchdowns and like five interceptions. And I mean, I don't think he's going to do that again this year. So he'll have a worse season this season than he had last season by the letter of the question.
Okay, so you're basically saying statistically he'll probably still be as successful, but statistically speaking, you're gonna have a dip. But Jay, Here's the thing: what happens if he doesn't? Would he be running to the best QBs of all time if he matches that? Like that would be phenomenal. Like
if he matches that, then it's nothing to talk about. I mean, right now you got the gold jacket if you ask me, but that's gonna put him first ballot status, and it's gonna be unquestioned if he never plays another down if he does that next season.
I'm trying to tell you, and let's be fair to the viewing audience. He should have won MVP.
He should have won. He should have won this.
He got the MVP. Damn right, he should have won MVP.
He should have won MVP. Now, listen. I love Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the man. But statistically speaking, by the letter of the law, like Jason just said, by the way we go by how we pick the MVP, literally, Josh Allen should not have won. You know what I mean? But unless you're looking at it as if you take that player off the team, what does the team look like? Then I understand why you give Josh Allen the MVP. I understand. I didn't say I agree, Jay. I understand. Right. You know what I mean? I understand. All right. So you guys get the best. I mean, you guys did the worst. Let's do the best. Who's going to be better this year? Who's going to be the best QB? Or who's going to do better than they did last year? And we're going to look at them and say, whoa, like I didn't see that coming. Because every year we got somebody, last year, it was Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels came out of nowhere. Oh, I forgot to say who my worst is going to be Aaron Rodgers. That's who I think is going to be worse. He's going to be so bad this year, they're going to force him out the door. But that was my worst. Now let's go with best. Who's your best QB, Mo, that you're going to sit there and say, wow, I didn't see that coming?
You know what? I hate to say this, and Frank, I think Drake May might be that guy. Drake May, if they do what they're supposed to do up here, it's not like he had a whole. It's not like he didn't show, that he could be a quarterback. He just had, he had bad pieces around him, and he didn't have a good coach. He got Mike Vrabel. Man, listen, Drake May, watch out for Drake May this year. And I hate to say it, I hate it. Oh God, and I gotta be there every Sunday cooking, hearing y'all cheer him off.
Okay, now I'm only going by statistically speaking. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that you're going to say, oh, my God, statistically speaking, who is going to be a better QB than they were last year, right now. And I forgot to tell you my pick. I think my pick obviously is Drake. I think Drake May is going to be up there, Mo. I think Drake May is going to be up there. But I think that kid who played for Chicago Bears, who was the number 1 pick last year, I think he's statistically speaking. And his name is just left me.
Justin Herbert.
No, he's San Diego.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Was it Kalen? What was the name?
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb
Williams. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams, statistically speaking, is going to have a better year this year than he had last year because I think they're going to come together with something. So I think he's going to, statistically speaking, of course, good QB. Dave, QB.
Yes.
Who are you going to go with for a better QB from last year to this year? Who's going to take that jump?
Listen, man, this man to me was 100 yards short of 1,000-yard season. Lamar Jackson. I think the Ravens are going to really tear stuff up. I'm trying, Frank. The thing that I think people don't understand is he's almost there with a couple of pieces over, over the offseason. I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to cause a whole lot of problems and a whole lot of headaches in people's fantasy football rankings are going to be really busted. I just think dude is dope. I think they sleep on him a lot. I think a lot of times people want to focus on, glitz and glamours and big names. And everybody thought I was going to say Jalen Hurts. You can't improve upon perfection. But,
Oh, Jesus.
Why are we calling on our Lord and Savior? Doesn't he have things to do, like take care of the affairs of the universe for you to come and bother him on my pick? I said Lamar Jackson needs to have a better season. I'm sorry. If you win the Super Bowl, didn't you have the best season?
Yeah, you did. You won.
Thank you. So Lamar Jackson. I said what I said.
Okay, my other name. I got another name. But before I'm gonna hold off my other name, who I think is gonna have a good season. Before I left Jason, tell me who QB you think is gonna have a better season statistically than they had last season. And it could be W's, it could be overall performance. And I like Dave's. If Lamar Jackson, Dave, I got to give you this. If Lamar Jackson gets a number 1 wide receiver, they're gonna be yeah. But Jason,
you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah. Right here with you. Jason, who's your number 1 QB? Who you think is going to get better statistically speaking?
Write it down because there's no way he can't. Because this season he will actually play the entire season, and he has a bunch of pieces around him to put up stats. Michael Penix. He is going, and he plays in a terrible division. There's no reason for him not to. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he throws 4,000 yards.
He definitely
he's that good.
Yeah, nobody was talking about him last year, but he is good. Jay, that's a good pick, Jay. That's a really
because
good
Cousins was starting. He was on the bench. He's going to start the whole season this year.
Yeah, and my last pick is going to be Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert with that coach and everything else. I think Justin Herbert is going to do statistically. I think he's going to do better too. That's pretty interesting, guys. Pretty interesting. Now let me go into the news. Let me dive into the news. So look at the time. I want to keep this thing moving. I don't know if you heard the news, Mo, but Matthew Stafford met with Tom Brady over the weekend, clearly off-site and everything else. Word has been leaking out heavily in the NFL circles that Matthew Stafford he's definitely trying to talk his way out and get out of it, which is amazing to me. Like, why he tried to leave the Rams is beyond me. They have a Super Bowl ready team, but it looks like Matthew Stafford is on his way out, and people are trying to connect them with the Raiders. You see it, Mo? You see it with the Raiders?
I see it with the Raiders because it could be done, but I don't see California. I don't see the Rams just letting them go like that, man. For real, I don't even know why he wants to leave. I mean, he just won the Super Bowl 3 years ago.
He wants to leave because he is the 19th quarterback on the list of highest paid. He ranks 19th in all the league
So we talking money. They still haven't. It's just listen. A couple mil here. How Scarface say? Couple mil here, couple mil there. We'll make it all work out.
If only it could be that easy. If only.
I know, right? I just tried to sound convincing.
Yeah, but you was there, Dave. Matthew Stafford to the Raiders. What you think?
Again, at this point, Vegas has nothing to lose, right? the other part of that is I really have a problem with multimillionaires crying who get to play a game, for 4 to 6 years and ride off into the sunset with more money than Jeebus. Like, to me, like, I'm 19th in the league. Guess what? It's people who didn't even make the league who got a rocket ship for an arm, sir. You ungrateful piece of cow dung, you warm bucket of hamster vomit. You signed the contract. Maybe you should have gotten yourself a better agent and stopped crying. 19th. Just maybe you picked somebody bad to negotiate, but the truth of the matter is maybe there were 18 people who had better deals because they negotiated. You don't get what you're worth, you get what you negotiate. But people who play games for a living really should not be complaining. I could see it if he was like in the 60s in the NFL, starting quarterbacks would then have to go bag groceries at the Piggly Wiggly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll give you this though. I'll give you this, Dave. When Matthew Stafford signed, he didn't sign the highest paid contract. He was in the top 3, and now he's regretting it because now here we are. So, Jason, what's your take on Matthew Stafford to the Raiders? Because it's interesting that he met with Tom Brady over the weekend.
I don't know what sense it makes for the Rams. I mean, what assets do the Raiders have worth trading for? Are they going to trade Fat Elvis and the Pyramid Casino out there or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Because there's nobody on the Raiders team I want other than that new tight end. So,
pause.
So if you oh yeah, damn, yeah, pause.
Nobody you want but that tight end.
Everything with the tight end.
Thanks. I understand what you said.
But Bowers is the only real asset that they really have, or that defensive end. But if you got to give those people up to get him, then I don't even understand why you're making a trade in the first place.
Yeah. You guys all make great points. I can't even dispute that. But when it comes to negotiating, sometimes you over negotiate, sometimes you under negotiate. Let's take a look at T. Higgins. T. Higgins right now is trying to crack that 30 a year right now. Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. He wants to get 30 a year. There are teams out there like the Patriots who probably pay $33-34 million a year and everything else. He supposedly had, Cincinnati said that they're moving their way forward. T. Higgins came out over the weekend and just put an emoji that said that was a cap. You know what I mean? That's all he said. And it doesn't look good for Cincinnati. So T. Higgins is going to be out there. There's 2 or 3 teams that can pay a hell of a lot of money for him. Where you want to see him at, Mo? Where you see T. Higgins at?
I don't see T. Higgins going nowhere because they're going to franchise T. Higgins again so nobody can touch him. T. Higgins just need to understand that he ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. He like Tina Turner the first 2 or 3 records, and she realized Ike was crazy, and she thought about leaving. You ain't going nowhere. You staying right here, Anime. You ain't going nowhere. They're gonna franchise him, and he gonna sit his ass right there in Cincinnati.
I think he's leaning towards, getting franchised that. But if they franchise him, now you got a disgruntled wide receiver, and wide receivers are always disgruntled. And I don't know if you want T. Higgins to be that disgruntled because he might not play. He might come up with a phantom injury all year long. And now
listen. I take a disgruntled T. Higgins than no T. Higgins at all.
Well, you still
I'll keep what you say. I'll keep T. Higgins on the field, man. I'm hoping that eventually he gonna want to win, and I can sign some other contracts and get Jamar Chase and keep the team together and keep the band together. I'll take a disgruntled T. Higgins during the off season than no T. Higgins at all than when the season starts. I don't care what you say.
Okay, Dave, you heard what Mo said. Mo said he still would rather have a disgruntled T. Higgins that would have a phantom injury, that would be a season-ending injury that's be gone the whole season, and then trading him away because you could get something for him right now.
That's what you said. That's what you said, Frank. Phantom injury.
Because you act like wide receivers don't have them when they disgruntled. Come on.
Yeah, but he only gonna be disgruntled during the off season.
Okay, all right, we'll see. Because he has been known to be upset. The business bully. What's your take on this situation? Should they franchise him, trade him? What should they do, and where does he end up at? Because we talked about this a couple times.
I'm gonna tell you like this, brother, and I'm gonna be very, very blunt with you. My father, God rest his soul, would say, "I ain't in the business of keeping somebody who don't want to be kept. Get him out of here." Get him out of here. Listen, Fantasia Barrino, who's from High Point, North Carolina, famously said, "If you don't want me, then don't talk to me." Go ahead and free yourself. No. So my thing is, go. Let's see how well you do elsewhere. Like, I just don't understand how a bunch of grown men in tights are running around crying and they're not a finalist in RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, you're making millions of dollars.
Where you want to see him at, Dave?
Philly.
Home. Home, Frank. I'd like to see him at home. We'll take him. We'll take him right now. I mean, because let's face it, we're keeping 80% of our roster. But there's always room for a good player who wants to follow the system, because the system works. The system works so well. You got other grown-ass teams who are legendary franchises whining because they can't beat a thing called the tush push. Tell T. Higgins, come on over here. If you tired of having teams that don't appreciate you, if you tired of being a whiny little man boo you are, come on over to death row.
Here we go. There we go. Dave, I think I have to make a minor correction with you. I think the Philadelphia Eagles might be keeping 85 to 90% of their team. But
I mean, again, you can't improve on perfection, but we don't mind making adjustments.
Yeah, I love the gloating, Jason. Don't you love the gloat? I love the gloat because I was just like that as a Patriots fan for 20 years. For 20 years,
He earned it.
For 20 years. Yeah, he did. He did for 1 year. I give him that for 1 year. I ain't mad at him because honestly, I think the Eagles. Everybody's sleeping on the Eagles. I think the Eagles going to repeat, especially if they get what's his name out of Cleveland. If they get
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, if they get Myles Garrett out of Cleveland, everybody shouldn't even play. Just give them the trophy and let's skip to 2026, 2027. But anyway, I digress. What should the T. Higgins situation look like, Jason? How should they unfold that? Where should it go? And where should he play?
I mean, the Bengals have had T. Higgins for how many seasons now with Jamar Chase? Offense is always great. They got more problems than offense. Mm-hmm. That defense can't stop anybody. So if you have an asset that other people want, I don't see why you just don't trade this dude and get some pieces back to help your defense be better. I saw an article, where they said that they're going to make Jamar Chase the highest paid non-QB in the league. So there's no way that they're ever going to pay T. Higgins. So why waste the franchise tag on him when you can just unload him, get some pieces back, and actually make a legitimate run at a championship?
And let's not forget, Cincy is a small market team, and they don't have money like that. Yeah, they don't have money like that. So I don't know. One last question. I want to go around to you guys. Let me see where I'm at. T. Higgins, now obviously the situation happened with the tush push. The tush push looks like it's going to land. What I want to ask every one of you guys. I'm gonna go with you first, Mo. Which rule would you have banished that we had last year? And I'm gonna go first, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. You know what I would like to have?
What?
I would like to have how they were doing the kicks, with everybody on that. I want to go back to them kicking the way they used to kick. I don't like that everybody come up to the line and then you kick and nobody can move until you catch the ball. And I used to like the drama of, he caught the ball, he dropped the ball while somebody's running up on you and hitting you. I used to love that. You know what I mean? It's part of football to me. I wish that they would go back to that. Which rule would you wish they'd go back to or implement? Whatever.
Some of those roughing the passer calls, they getting really, really like if you just like breeze by too hard, roughing the passer. You know what I'm saying? If you just wave too fast in front of his face, roughing the passer. I understand we got to protect the quarterback. Quarterbacks get hit hard and they get hit often. But some of those calls, come on, man, they going overboard with it.
Yeah, I think so too. Dave. Which change would you like to make since we got a couple seconds up here?
Frank, I'm going to be very honest with you. I think coaches should stick to coaching and leave referees to referee. I think the fact that you gave NFL coaches a flag is the biggest mistake you want. Like if NFL coaches wanted a flag, they can go down to Pride Week and they can get themselves a really nice flag with all the colors in it. But what happens is every time there's a play that I don't care. Listen, how you gonna cancel me? My daughter's queer and I work for myself. Like I said,
we are.
if in fact, you wanted to sit here and allow coaches to cry every time they didn't like a call, it's slowing down the game. Not to mention, I want more vitriol for these refs because the refs did better when the fans were booing them out of the arena. You see what I'm saying? If you get rid of the coaches, oh, we want to challenge that play. No, it is what it is. You don't get a redo. You don't get a do-over. This is not a time machine. You ain't got 121 gigawatts to go back to the future. What you need to do is make sure that if you do this offsides, you bench him, you cuss him the hell out, and you put somebody who can stand on the line. He's got some daggone sense. You know, you just go, ew.
Dave, you made me think of something. What about the refs having to face the press after the game after they make a bad call?
Ooh, yes.
I would like that too. After they make a bad call, oh boy.
It's not time for you to go report for the night shift at Foot Locker, Mo.
Mo is his dysfunctional referee. Mo, Mo, we're gonna have to have a talk with you, Mo. We're gonna come back to you in a second, Mo. Jason, what rule would you change right now? Because I think I like the last thing I said even better than the first one. Like the referees got to sit in front of the press and answer to the press when they make a horrible call that everybody clearly can see. I think I would implement that. What would you implement, Jason? What would you do?
The one rule I would get rid of that they implemented last year, and it's the dumbest rule in all of football. Why do people have to announce an onside kick? It's the dumbest thing ever.
That's right. Oh, I forgot about that too.
The whole purpose of the onside kick is that you don't know that it's coming. Right?
Block punt.
Right.
I mean, if you have to announce it, then why do we even have it, man?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The hands unit's gonna be on the field. You know, nobody's playing chess with that. It's the dumbest rule. Get rid of it today.
You get the crown of that round. You definitely get the crown in that round, bro. Because that definitely is the piece of the cake right there. That's the top. Like, I don't know. That's the one that makes me go like, what's the point? Like, what's the point?
What is the point of it?
Yeah, what's the point? Yeah. All right, y'all. Tell everybody out there where they follow you. Let's go with the dysfunctional comic up there first. Mo, you go first with that referee.
My name ain't Mo. My name is Hank. My name is Hank, the dysfunctional referee. I work for the American football, the referee league, American Referee League. You can catch me this weekend out at the comedy scene with Chris Tab and friends. I just want to say this to you guys, talking about me going in front of the camera when I make a bad call. You don't want to hear from me when I make a good call. You think all those pass interference the Tom Brady guy was by mistake? No.
Okay, Mo. I hear you, Mo. By the way,
my name ain't Mo. My name is Hank, the whistleblower.
Okay, Hank, I like your Kansas City Chiefs shirt.
He's got the colors with the flags too.
Like a shirt. Okay, Dave, talk to me out there. Tell me how we can follow you. What's going on?
Man, you can follow me at the Business Bully on all social media platforms, man. I'm just rocking and rolling and enjoying my life, man. But yeah, next year for you guys, I'm letting you know now the Philadelphia Eagles are going all the way, and if you have a problem with that, you might as well just understand that we're just going to stick this in you because you're done. So yeah, at the Business Bully, love to help you if you want some business advice. It's cool, and yeah, exciting.
Okay.
Exciting
My
times.
man Jason, tell everybody out there how they can follow you. Filmmaker Jason.
Yeah, I actually changed my scroll down there right here to at JD Hayes because I want to plug the Black-owned website. Find me at JD Hayes on Fanbase. Look me up over there.
I like that, Jason. Greatly appreciate you all. Got to thank, obviously, the guys in the back behind the scenes, Kev and White Chocolate, working the banners and everything else and keeping the show rolling. Everybody, this show's called Box Seats. We're going to be back tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We're going to talk about a couple of more things, obviously, in the sporting world and everything else. I want to thank all you guys for joining the show. I want to thank all you guys for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow. The show's called Box Seats on Humor Mill. Thank you all. Peace.